Hi everyone, today I'm going to be showing you how you can use the Everyday Collection in your mixed media project. So I've created this lovely little canvas here and I'm going to be embellishing it and working with it. Now, so what I've done here so far, I've used a stencil. There's a brand new stencil to Craftbox and I'm going to link it below in the description box. And I've also, once I stenciled it, I have used some of the white gesso then on the stencil paste. The stencil paste wasn't 100% dry, but it doesn't matter much. And then I've also taken this frame. Now, this resin frame is one of my favorite resin embellishments, and I have gessoed it as well. So I'm going to kind of work with it kind of on the side. I do like bits that are kind of hanging off the sides of the canvases in my projects in general. Now I've got a bunch of flowers from the Everyday Collection. Everything I have linked below, or you can see it on the side of your screen. And also I've got ephemera, because ephemera is this really interesting product. Ephemera and like fussy cuts, and our collections have both, either ephemera or fussy cuts in our collections. Ephemera is really good because it creates a kind of different level of dimension, because it represents something that's 3D in a 2D form. So when you have it with 3D flowers and the texture paste and frame and all these embellishments, that just looks really awesome. So this is what I've got so far. And this is what I'm going to be using. This is pretty much dry. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the Antique Pink Slummy spray. I'm going to give it a good shake and I'm going to give it a little spritz. So this project is going to be this is kind of pink mauve peach, which is exactly what this entire collection is, mauve, a peach and some pink. So that's why I decided to use this. And just to avoid any harsh lines, I'm going to spray it with water. So I'm just going to let it run across the whole thing. So you can see that wherever I've got those crevices, it's going to be a little bit darker. And in other areas it's going to be a little bit lighter. Now I'm going to use my heat gun just to push this around a little bit. The spray has fixative in it already, and obviously you can dab it off with your paper towel if you feel this is a little bit too much. I'm going to embrace this and then just dry till it's completely set. Okay, so that is looking really nice. You can see I've got some gold and some of the pinks in there. And then I'm just going to take my frame and I'm going to give my frame spritz with the same spray, just so I get it nice and blended. And I'm not going to use water on this. I'm literally just going to zap it with the heat gun. Okay, so now that this is dry, well, I've got this one sorted, and then I'm going to take a piece of snip art, which looks like this, and I'm going to glue it together. So just a little bit of any wet glue or even hot glue, but with a hot glue you literally just have one chance to adhere it, because this is kind of layered design. Okay, that's fine. And now I'm going to start, actually I'm going to keep this open because I'm going to start putting this together. Okay, so I am going to have my frame somewhere around here. So you can see this on this tone on tone. You can do it in different color if you want to. I love this resin, one of my favorite resins. I use it a lot in my mixed media projects. Okay, and then this frame, actually I think I'm going to pop it underneath. So that's the benefit of using wet glue. If you change your mind regarding the composition, you can switch it around. And I'm going to pop this one here and then this one kind of hanging off here. Okay, lovely. Just going to put a little bit more glue on this. Okay, that's cool. If you're using hot glue, you're just going to have it instantly glued on. If not, you're going to have to wait like I do. Okay, so I've got this ready. So now what I'm going to do, I've got some ephemeras, and these are adorable. These are from the Everyday collection, and I'm going to start working on those. And I just want to make sure that I'm not going to cover the entirety of my snip art, for example. Well, I say that, we will see how it's gonna turn out. So I am going to put this one here, and then I've got a smaller one that comes in that set as well, which is so adorable, and I'm going to pop that here. And if you wanted to make it stand out a little bit more, you can just put it on your dimensional adhesive, for example. Then I'm going to place this one. So I'm going to work out what's going to go inside first, I think. And I might just, I think I'm just going to add this one here. Okay, so pretty. And then I've got those absolutely adorable flowers. Now they do have quite thick stems, so I'm going to cut this off, but you need to be careful because that's what's holding all the little stamens inside. So I'm just going to pop this one here and make a little arrangement with flowers inside. Okay, with wet glue, it's obviously going to take a little moment for everything to dry. So I'm just going to have to be patient. Oh, so pretty. I love the flowers. Now, flowers come in beautiful packs. I'm going to pop all the info right at the bottom of the screen. We also have brand new leaf packs, which are cute because they come with those metal bits. That's a technical term that you can then use just to keep things in place. Again, they will be linked at the bottom. And then I'm going to use this one. This is already looking beautiful. Okay. So that is so cute already. Okay, so I think this one was obviously adhered with wet glue, and I can see it's not really matching what I'm trying to do, so I'm going to turn around and I'm going to add another flower. So I've got this. Oh, this one would look actually really nice. So I'm going to push that up. This is the benefit of using wet glue. So I am going to keep this a little bit longer because I will use this to kind of anchor things and keep it in place. So just there. Perfect. And then the leaves are from the leaf set as well. So I'm going to grab one of those. Floral projects were some of my absolute favorite projects. Okay, so this is looking rather pretty, but obviously a little bit empty on this side. So I'm going to grab some of the other embellishments that we have here. I've got this little lantern here, and I think I'm going to finish off this bottom part with this little lantern, just pushing it up a little bit so I can still see those roses. Okay. And then now on the top part, so here's my idea. I've got the letters, the everyday collections, all kind of very reminiscent, and you know, there's lots of letters, post boxes, etc. And I think that will look really nice. Now I think having a little bit of dimension on this is going to be a good thing. So I'm going to grab a little dimensional adhesive. And what I would suggest is when you work on a mixed media project, make sure that you just put a little bit of glue, even though there is glue, but it may just not hold onto wet surface, etc. And then I've got this letter, and I'm going to prop it up even higher, well, higher comparing to the previous one. And again, I'm going to do the same thing, just add a little bit of glue. Okay, something like this. So that is on top of the other letter. And I've also got a little bunch of books, and we will see if that will go somewhere. Maybe not. I think I'm just going to use the little flowers. So I've got this, which is just so pretty. So I'm going to use that one and just slide it underneath. And if I wanted to, I could add a little leaf on the side of that flower. Actually, it's not really fitting, so I'm not going to do that. And I feel like this needs a little bit of colour, so I'm going to break it off with another letter, and I'm going to pop it even higher, this letter, and magically all those dimensionals really work great on this. Okay, so that's just giving it a really beautiful lift. Now you always run a risk of over embellishing, but I would like to kind of pull it all together with this little rose, which I'm thinking of putting somewhere underneath, so that will kind of match up top and bottom. And I think that every piece should really have a sentiment. So whilst I'm waiting for this to dry, I'm going to take a vinyl sheet, and I think I'm going to use it today as a gift. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a marble glass page. This is from the Marble Glass companion pad, and I'm going to pop this one, just going to pop this one on top of here, and then just take a pair of scissors, and I'm just going to kind of roughly chop it out, and then I'm going to chop it really nice and straight, making a little frame around it. And with this, you've got that matte sticker and then the glossy thing around it. And then I'm thinking somewhere here, yeah, that is like a little tag. That will be cute. So I'm not going to then put it on dimensionals. Oh, keep saying dimensionals. Well, I guess they are. And then pop today as a gift. And I think this is so cute, so quick, so beautiful. And I would love to have it hanging on my wall, and probably will actually hang on my wall because I think it's super pretty. I hope you enjoyed this little mixed media tutorial. This is made with Everyday Collection from myself, Anna Hersom, and I'm going to link everything below, and you can also see where to buy in the top right corner. So in this project I'm going to create a tag, and I'm going to use a stencil, and the stencil is from Prima, and I'm going to use a little bit of a liquid leaf. I'm just going to grab this. Now with the liquid leaf, you have to give it a really good shake before, or stir before every use. I suggest a shake, because when you stir it, it's just a permanent product, and you have to clean it with solvent. So it's quite tricky to use it in a way. And I would always suggest to take everything from the actual lid to start with. And then I've already got this kind of damaged stencil here, and I'm just going to take everything from a lid. The reason why you want to do this is because liquid leaf, this particular one, just glues itself shut, and it's so hard. Actually, it's not hard to open it, it's impossible to open it. So make sure you take care of the lid every time you use it. Right, so I'm just going to tap some of those bolts, like a light bolts, and you can see you've got that lovely background. I think that's enough, but I am going to make sure that I've got nice and clean around the edges, and my lid is clean as well. It's a nightmare to open it afterwards. Okay, and I might just take a little bit of that, if there's anything on the brush, just a little bit on the edge, like this. It's just dries so quickly, especially on a really dense brush. So it's probably not going to be much. Okay, that's enough. And then what I'm going to do, that's enough, she said very sternly. Right, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this clock, it's MDF clock from Snip Art, and One of my favorite, and again, you know what, I'm going to link everything at the bottom. I know I always say that and I sometimes forget, but please do have a look. And I'm going to link this because we have this in a fantastic little steampunk set. In fact, I might just bring this a little bit, yeah, I'm going to bring this a little bit closer. The thing with glossy accent is it does leave like a glossy finish, so I'm just going to do this. I'm probably not going to even see it, so okay. Now I do have some nature inspired produced products, and also I've got this and I've got the curly moss, so I'm going to use this in this demo, and then I'm also going to take some of the cards and ephemera I have from the paper pads. So I've got this, which I really like, and I'm going to take my scissors and just kind of roughen the edges a little bit. Okay, and then I've got this other one as well. So these are the little tags that are at the back of every paper pad. So depending on which one we want to go for, I'm going to go for contrast. So this one, just what I'm going to do is I'm going to add my glue to here and then just stick this down. Now this creates a little bit of dimension for me. It's something where I can add those nature products. So I'm going to grab this. So you can just grab this from your walk and incorporate it into your project. Just make sure you dry it, of course. I'm going to do this, and what I'm going to do, and I'm going to add a little bit of glue and then just tuck that underneath. No doubt some of the glue is going to spill, but we're just going to cover it with some other things. And I'm going to grab a little bit more maybe, because I think this just looks really lovely, and you can make this lovely symmetrical design. So just a little bit of glue and then just pop that here. Okay, hopefully this will stick nicely, and this one I'm just going to smear so it just gives me a little bit of gloss. Okay, then I also have some of the curly moss, and this one actually conveniently has a little kind of stem, so I can just tuck that stem underneath here, right, and then the rest hopefully will just stick. And I've got this one as well, and I'm just going to use this at the top of this tag. Okay, so I've got this background, so now we can crack on with adding some other embellishments. So we have plenty of beautiful flowers. Now these sets are already very much used, but I still have some really lovely flowers here because they're all really pretty, like this one. I just love this one. And I'm going to use some of the smaller embellishments and smaller flowers because this is a smaller space to work on. And I'm just going to grab this one, this flower. Again, I'm going to cut off this thick stem from the back. Just going to get this one off and just going to place it here. Whoa, don't go anywhere. Okay, and now I'm just going to give it a really nice press and push so that this glue catches as much as possible. And it's just looking pretty already. And I'm going to do the same here. Now, again, please be careful because this is actually the ends of the stamens, so they will fall out if you're not careful. So use a hot glue or wet glue and just place it down and just don't move it. And that should hopefully, you know, get everything nice and in place. Okay, so we have plenty of cutouts and ephemera. So I'm going to use the fussy cuts actually, and I'm just going to create a little bit more busyness around this area because it was quite empty. And I've got some other elements, so let me just... So I'm just going to grab some of those. Okay, really pretty. That is so cute. And one of my absolute favorite is this lovely string of lights. And I'm thinking of covering the string of lights on the actual the actual cutout and doing something like this. I might do that because I think that will look quite cute. Now, the one thing I would say is that will probably need a little bit of a lift. So I'm going to take a square, kind of dimensional square, and then just pop it at the back of this. If you create your own, you can make sure that you have the right size. Fab. Okay, and then just going to take the sticky off it. All right, and then get this down on this, and that's just going to create a little bit of a shadow there as well. Okay, so I think that tag like this is a perfect gift. So it will need a sentiment. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just add a sentiment, and I'm going to put "Life is good" on my tag, and I'm just going to put it somewhere here. So this is your lovely mixed media tag with some nature elements using Everyday Collection.